Hey, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I am going to be closing out the month of September because September is pretty much a wrap and October is a few days away, which is insane. But I'm going to go through and just see how well I did. If you missed my last video where I went through my monthly budget of September, I will link it somewhere on the screen so that you can check that out. And then you can come back to this one if you would like and just see how well that I did. So I'm going to start here with my income. So here I have two income lines. That's because this up top is going to be from my job. So my day job, I am on salary. So I know exactly pretty much how much I'm going to be bringing in because it really changes. So $31.91 was the income that I knew I was going to have. And then line number 2 came from a PTO sellback. So I use PTO sellbacks as part of my debt payoff strategy because I don't make a lot of money and I want to be able to maximize pretty much everything that I have at my fingertips to help me pay off debt. So I did a PTO sellback and I just put here a guesstimate. So I put $1,000. That was what I was anticipating, and I actually got a little more than $1,000. So I actually got an extra $342, and I'm going to show you how that played into my debt payoff totals a little bit later on in the video. So starting with my expenses, this was everything that I was going to be paying for the month, and as well as the amounts that I budgeted. And I did realize that I left off my auto insurance. So I had accounted for it. So I accounted for my auto insurance in my totals, but I left it off my piece of paper. So $57 is what I budget for that. So for rent is of course a fixed expense. So that was the total amount that I paid, which was $695. And once again, no, I do not live in a shack or a closet. I live in Arkansas and our cost of living is extremely low compared to other states. I have noticed it was a little shocking to me to figure out how much other people were paying for rent because I am so used to this being the norm here. For electricity, I budgeted $125, but my bill actually came out to be $128.50. So I am over by $3.50, but I am going to show you how I pretty much offset that, the way that it works in my account. So for my fixed expenses like rent, electric, phone, water, etc., these are all part of my bills account. So I have a specific amount direct deposited into these accounts and they are all on auto pay. So they are automatically paid whenever the due date comes. So I don't really have to do too much with my bills account. Besides check in from time to time and make sure everything is working the way that it should. But I never really stress out when this happens because I know that there's going to be funds in there to offset the amount. So for Wi-Fi is fixed. So that was $70, which was what I budgeted for. My phone bill is $49. That is fixed. So that is $49. And I am on prepaid. I've been on prepaid for years, so that's why that's so low. Water, I budgeted $75 and my water bill was $73.03. So I had an additional $2.03. And now this is why I say I don't really stress out too much whenever I come under budget, because I know that there's going to be an expense that offsets it. So here I offsetted pretty much the total amount of $350, but I know that when this happens monthly, most of the time I really do well coming under budget. So I have funds that are sitting in my bills account just to act as a safety net for when I actually come over budget. So I know that I have way more than $1 sitting in my account that can be used to offset this $350. Now for debt, I when it comes to like my basic income, I have $1,050 set back to go to debt. Now, my minimum debt payment is $0 right now since I just have student loans. I'm down to my last student loan before I am completely debt free. And of course, due to the pandemic, the student loan payments and interest are paused. So it's $0, but I still want to keep going to take advantage of that interest rate cut. And of course, the payments being paused. So I have $1,050 that is sent to my student loans each month. And I put here that I would make $2,050 with my PTO sale back. So I just added that whole $1,000 to that. I actually only wound up making $1,650 to my student loans for the month of September because I wanted to put back a portion in my car repair sinking fund. My car she's pretty old and she is pretty much needing repairs now quite frequently. And my check engine light popped back on again. So I just felt like it was a smart move to put some money back into that sinking fund. And I also decided to use some of the funds to buy my kids clothes. So since we were pretty much stuck in the house all summer, I did not buy them any clothes. And the cold weather is rolling in kind of quickly. It's kind of surprising, especially here in the state of Arkansas because it's normally hot. But I decided to take some money and buy my kids some clothes as well. So we got some shoes, some new pants, and some new jackets, etc. to keep them warm. So that is why I only was able to make $1,650 as a student loan payment. But even still, it's pretty good and I'm really, really proud of myself. Now for renter's insurance, that is a fixed expense. So that is $18 as well as Disney Plus. If you missed my last video, I said that I now have Disney Plus since we are in the house so much. My daughter won the fight. So that is $7 every single month. For my blog, I was putting $35 back. I had hosting that was due and I had some other expenses that was due as well, and my traffic had kind of tanked, so my income was a little on the low side. So I put that back into my blog account. Savings, I only am saving $150 every single month right now because I have a couple of months worth of living expenses saved up. So I felt confident enough to drop my savings contributions just so I would have more money to apply to my student loan debt. So I just put $150 back into my accounts. Now this is not just one account. This goes to my emergency fund, my regular savings, as well as my daughter's 529. I just have little bitty amounts applied to that. And then once I am debt free, I will go full force on investing and saving, of course. So for groceries, I budgeted $360 and that is what I spent. For gas, $140. Now I will say I'm just going to write these as though they are fixed expenses. I did come way under on gas because I am working from home due to the pandemic, but I applied those funds to other expenses such as making extra student loan payments or beefing up my groceries. So I am going to write it as though that's what I spent on this. And for fun, $200. I budget $100 per paycheck. That's for me and my kids. So 3 people are sharing $100 every 2 weeks. It is cutting it close a lot of the times, especially like if it's nice out, if we go out for the weekend, it's really hard to stick to that amount. But I know that's what I need to do right now, just so all of my money or a big chunk of my money can go to my student loan debt, because I know that is the gift that is going to keep on giving. So I just have to push through it. And for beauty, I budgeted $60. Now, I did only spend $20. And that is because I just felt like I should apply those funds to something else right now. I just don't feel like until I have my debt paid off, since I'm so close to the finish line, I should be really indulging in beauty, even if it's just $60 a month. but I am going to write 60 out on the side because I applied those funds to other expenses. Household was 80, so I budget $40 per paycheck. I did spend that. And auto insurance is 57. So that is a fixed expense. So that is what I paid for that this month. So this is everything for the month of September. And now I'm going to do a quick update on my debt. So my debt, I wanted to get my debt, my student loans, under $2,400. That was my goal for September, and I am happy to report that I am currently at $1,818. So I paid $1,650 to my student loans for September, and so now I am going to start off October under $2,000. I'm hoping to be debt-free by the end of October since that's my birthday month. I don't really think that's going to happen, to be completely honest, but I'm just wishful thinking. But I do feel really confident that I am going to be debt-free this year just because I am under $2,000 and I put $1,050 to my student loans every single month. So fingers crossed for me, guys. But this is how I am going to wrap up my September budget. And I do have another video coming soon on how I am going to budget for October, what goals I have for October, and what expenses are going to change for that month. But be sure to comment, subscribe, and click that like button if you found this video helpful. And I will see you all in the next one.